It is that time of the year once again. This year, EA Sports did it a bit different, announcing EA College Football and Madden at the same time. But here we are, we're back on Coach Miller here on YouTube, live streaming, hanging out, reacting to all of the updates that we were given today from these two games. I have seen some things on Twitter, definitely, but I have watched no videos. I have not read any of the actual blog post, if you will, yet for either of these games. This video definitely is going to be mainly focused on the college football side of things. That's what we're really focused on here on this channel, except for our freaking MLB 2K13 dynasty or franchise, which is just actually kind of hilarious. So yeah, that's what this video is going to be. A preview, a look into what they're going to be giving us in EA College Football 27. I absolutely cannot wait to get into this tonight. So I think what may be the best thing to do is hop over to the reveal, because I heard it was actually a great experience in the reveal. So I don't think it's live anymore. Okay, that is finished. That's great. That's great. Okay, so now the stream's over, so it's in our control, which is good. So let's see. I know I'm on face cam still. I'm just trying to go look in here. Reveal trailers there. Okay, we'll do that. All right. All right, let's do this. I have already seen the trailer. Let me go ahead and bump in my camera real quick, just so we have more of a facial expression there. Love that. And here we go. So opening drive was their event today. Here comes
delivering new ways to play in Dynasty,
the College Football 27 trailer.
Our goal is to create an experience with depth, challenge, emotion, and the current real-world college football decision-making landscape.
NIL.
So whether you're building your program, becoming a five-star recruit, or creating your ultimate team of current or legendary players, College Football 27 is built around one question. Are you doing it for the you or for yourself? This is College Football 27.
A century of futility is forgotten. The Indiana Hoosiers are the kings of college football.
That's crazy that they won still.
Some players who walk through that tunnel onto that field grew up dreaming about putting on this uniform.
Hook 'em.
They've rooted for this team their whole life and want to be a part of something bigger than themselves.
This music's good
Some
too.
have another dream. The money, the deals, the cars, those shiny teeth. That's
Go
college
Tigers.
football now. I get it. Everyone's got to make a name for themselves. Truth is, I don't care why you show up. I care what happens after you do.
Let's go, dude. We're back, baby.
I care if you love to compete.
Dynamic weather, big deal there.
If you want every advantage. And if it turns into one thing on Saturday,
Win.
winning. That's why I want you here. That's what you're here to do.
Nice. Rice.
And there's no better place to do it.
Wow. That is a pretty good trailer, boys. That's a pretty good trailer.
I don't know, something about that pulls at the heartstrings. The music, college football, it's just amazing.
It does.
We are honored to have Coach Cignetti representing the reigning national champions.
Okay. Now let's kind of lock in and see. Okay. And then they do Madden, which is fine. gameplay. Let's see.
Year after the season ends, we get, in our mini camp, or we like to call pre-production, and then, we look at themes and things that you guys say, because your feedback is essential to what we do.
Yep.
So let's look at how we broke this down. You first told us that you wanted more tools defensively. The AI logic needed to be better. You wanted more control on the other side of the football, and that's why we rallied behind defense wins championships. Next is built from game day. This is our authenticity pillar. We know that every team is somebody's favorite team, and you're going to see how we delivered that this year. And then last but not least is play your way. With all the features you're going to hear tonight, the different settings, how are we giving you the tools to ultimately play your way?
I like that. Play your way, yeah.
And now let's get to it. Defense wins championships, and it starts fundamentally. For years, one of the biggest holes that we have had to sure up that we did this year was what we call look for work. What is look for work? That's that middle linebacker seeing that drag coming right at you, and he can anticipate. In our game last year and in previous and any other football game made, defending in the zone, they didn't move until they got into their zone. That all changes here. And we're going to go right here to the film room, and we're going to see Fred Warner here. And I want you to see his ability to look for work. Love drops. He's in his hook zone. He's going to drop properly. He's going to anticipate it. Love has to make a call. We're throwing a pick. Here we go. We're moving. Next. From there, we said,
Decibel and Madden.
Now that we've gotten look for work
Decibel and Madden.
How do we give the
Noted.
users more tools to control how they want to play
The poor
in zones?
Dolphins suck.
And now we're introducing smart zones. So now, both on an individual or
Dude,
team level,
a good football
you can
game just
decide how
freaking gets you
aggressive want
going,
them to be.
honestly.
Do you want that Mike backer because the mesh concept is driving you crazy and you want to get up and take that away? Just put him in ultra aggressive. Is the quarterback killing you with that two ball or that deep over? Slant concepts, pick one into aggressive. They're running that slant concept.
Okay, I like that.
Six. We're
You
going
can
back
change
to the
zone
crib.
to
We are giving
aggressive,
you more
passive.
options than you have ever had before.
I like it.
Come on, we got to clap that up. This is defense we're talking about here, fellas. We're talking defense. You call the perfect defensive play. You're clamping them up. You got them strapped and locked up like the kids say these days. And then all of a sudden, the quarterback is going to evade the pocket. I mean, we got the legend Michael Vick sitting over there. Shout out to the legend. Clap it up for the legend. But the thing is similar to Madden 2004 summer, you guys are still trying to play it the same way. You get out and you're just scrambling everywhere. And so we had to introduce what is real, and real football is plaster logic. No longer are guys just standing around and just covering grass like your favorite City League flag football player. They are out here moving, attaching, locking, and ultimately clamping, and hopefully giving you a better chance not to give up those big plays. Shout out to Mike Vick, the greatest Madden player. Around the NFL and coverage, the
Safety with bunch of stuff.
I saw Ocho Cinco earlier in here, but I mean, no one did it better than him. One of my favorite routes, one of my favorite NFL films, he's like, I need you right here. That's everything I said to our dev team. It felt like every time we were going over this feature. Now, with our wide receiver defensive press improvements, receivers actually have logic around the route they are trying to run. If they're running a deep out, they're going to try to win on the outside. If they're running a deep in,
that makes sense. I saw something where it was like connected gameplay, and it does seem like they're trying to mesh some features together that were in college football and Madden, and then vice versa, which I think's great.
On the other side of and then we go to jostle. Some of my favorite cornerbacks of all time, guys like Aeneas Williams, Darrell Reeve, replicate that great with wide attach on the DB jostle system. And now you as a user, you can attach on the move.
I like that.
You can get them at the stem of the route and really play with the timing of them. Or you can attach when the ball is in flight. And keep in mind, when you are attached, you are slowing the wide receiver down, thus putting yourself in the best position to make a play.
That's a great mechanic.
And here we go, built from Simmons. You see every player is somebody's favorite player. I want you guys to take a look at Colin Simmons. You see him. He's one of the best defensive ends that there is out there. You see all of his physicals and the different tiers. Over the past couple of years, you guys have been very vocal that you preferred the tiered ability system. And we listened. because this is your game. So with that, the tiered ability system is going to debut in Madden NFL 27. Clap that up because the Rams fit formally.
Clap that up.
When you looked at all right, those two guys dominated in the trenches. When you looked at our game and you looked at real life, where it really broke down was, when it's goal line on goal line, big on big, 13 personnel. It just didn't look like what you see on Saturdays and Sundays.
You're right.
Until now. We've got brand new 2-player, 3-player, 4-player animations. We've got cut blocking, submarine techniques to really make it so you have to earn every yard inside those situations.
Good.
My boy Kurt over here just says, yeah, it feels a lot heavier now. It's a different experience to really get those 4th and 2s, 4th and 1s.
That's good.
And when you talk about inside the trenches, there's nothing like the quarterback sneak. And you say, what the hell am I looking at here? Yep, you got a QB sneak meter, right? And you see the green. Let's talk about the green. The green all comes in. The first thing that we look at is your center, your 2 guards, and then your quarterback. And then we say, all right, we're going to take those ratings and we're going to compare them. Do you have anybody in a zero technique? Are both A gaps filled? And then when it goes side to side, that's
also good.
Sided. Everybody asks, if it's in the game, it's in the game, baby. All right, come on, man.
That's funny.
All right. Simheads, rejoice.
135.
What you've been asking for. Home field advantage is back, and it's back in the way that you asked. You're going to see a decimal meter that represents the crowd volume. It was imperative that we made Kansas City or Arrowhead really feel like Arrowhead. And Arrowhead should feel different in November than it does in January. And that is exactly what's going to come when you play your game in here in a few. And nothing screams home field advantage like dynamic weather. I know you guys are excited about dynamic weather, and then only get getting to play your
time-based catching, something I may not use for Dynasty, it's a cool feature for competitive.
Fun. We're locking up on the defensive end this year, fellas. And then it works on both sides of the ball. So you want to clamp up and then hit your TBC, go have at it. Go have some fun. We're locking up on the defensive end to leak it. Much you're going to be able to giving
adjustments. That's cool.
You're going to create your custom adjustment. Everything that we've ever had at pre-snap. Now, typically, I'm going to press my DBs up. I'm going to pinch my line, show blitz. I would have went through multiple different stages just to get to this. Now I've got it all in 2.
That's cool.
Yeah,
you can do pregame adjustments to make it easier during the game.
We don't play around here. When you talk about custom adjustments, one of my favorite parts of this feature.
Play QB scramble, play screen.
There's a lot of what I call 1%ers that are the best of the best, but there are a lot who love the game,
take pressure.
Play the game.
Dang.
Rob Jones pressing up.
Play screen, that's a pretty big feature.
Right? And now in Madden and college football, college is still all about wide open gameplay, being loose in control, making those big plays, those side-to-side plays like one of my favorites, Reggie Bush, and Division. Playbooks.
I love how it's like so many good features, and then
you look at coverage, base shells, bigger win differentiation, bit more looks at player in college football and worst.
Bigger run lanes, chaos in the box, gap integrity.
Athletes, even though we got our guy Dante Moore
base progressions,
here,
more separation, more mistakes, dude.
In college, you get a max of 5. What you know and love is still there. Madden takes the tiered system and says,
unlimited for Madden.
Death Valley, and it's an actual weapon, or
crowd energy as weapon, noise management, under pressure.
The most totally, you got much love to everybody.
That's really good, bro. I love that.
But now for College Football 27, we're introducing the single biggest change to Dynasty mode.
Dynasty, here we go, boys. Lock in here. Lock in here. Dynasty.
Dynasty Blueprint is a full program management system that allows you to use a Dynasty points budget. You're able to hire staff, upgrade your facilities, and utilize the points on the recruiting trail in the form of NIL. But before we dive too deep into Dynasty Blueprint, we need to talk about the ultimate wild card in the system, and it's the personality and expectations of each school's athletic director. Each school is unique.
Wow.
Each school will have a different demeanor, with each demeanor impacting how difficult passing or failing an expectation will be.
Yeah.
There's hundreds of expectations ranging from winning on the field.
And if you see here, each school has a cap of dynasty points budget. I wonder if you can
And the
raise the
recruiting.
cap. Like, I wonder if no matter how good you do in your dynasty, will this cap be the same? Because obviously you can probably
Well-
improve this. But I'm just curious, like, will the
Developing and
cap
maintaining
upgrade?
facilities and even some school-specific goals that are ingrained
Interesting. Here's LSU, number 11 LSU. This is who I'm going to be first in my dynasty, honestly. It was 7-6 last year. That's so funny. So they have 10,000 maximum. Wow. Maintain national powerhouse facilities, win a conference title this season, win 80% of your home games
the
this
very
season.
identity of those schools. So if you are Ohio State, you better beat Michigan every single year to stay off the hot seat. Ensuring you're meeting your goals and your AD expectations is going to be key to sticking around, because you want to think, or you might have to think twice about jobs in the coaching carousel. So do you have the right coaching archetype to get the job done? Are the expectations too high based on your career level? Does the school's AD have a different vision for the program that you want to build? This is what's going to set your dynasty blueprint in motion, and what makes it even cooler, these are dynamic. They're going to change season to season based on success and failure.
That is cool.
So, you've selected your team, you manage your AD expectations, you're going to be asked to allocate some of your budget to your team support staff.
Makes sense?
Coordinators will already be on your staff in year one.
Obviously.
They'll be hired once you get to the carousel in the offseason. We'll get to that in a little bit. But this is where you're going to add a variety of staff that can assist with accruing more dynasty points, helping with recruiting,
It's so much deeper
increasing
this
player
year.
progression, or potentially reducing NIL asks. Keep in mind, though, these skills all work as a multiplier or a potential counterbalance to your coaching archetype. So choosing the proper mix of staff
Yeah,
based on your
dude.
skill tree.
Oh,
and your
man. It's so
coordinators
much
is going
deeper
to be
now.
key. And based on overwhelming community feedback, once you get to the offseason, you are now able to offer any coach or coordinator a job. It's good.
Beautiful.
It's exciting. This is what
That's
Mills,
good,
Mills
dude.
wanted this, right? Expected dynasty point values are going to be based on the coach and your school, so you don't just expect to go in there, throw a giant bag of dynasty points at somebody and expect them to sign with your team. But more on that later. We're going to talk about the coaching carousel in a little bit.
That's so cool. So really, after the first season, if I don't like my offensive coordinator, I fire him, and then I can offer any coach in the nation. If I think, obviously, like, there's interest right here, if they're going to come or not. But I could take, if I'm at LSU, I could take the Louisiana Tech head coach and make him my OC. If that was, I probably wouldn't do that, but that's kind of what I'm saying. It's kind of
Next
cool.
up, facilities. Facilities control how much XP your players are going to accrue, with each level also unlocking equipment slots.
Okay.
These slots are going to allow you to reduce injuries, reduce wear
Okay. So facilities impacts progression.
and tear,
Big deal right there.
increase
Big deal.
season health, and extend the life of your facilities. That's right. Facilities degrade over time. So not just important that you increase your facilities if you want to ensure your players are performing at the best,
Yeah.
but you're also going to want to make sure that you budget enough to maintain those facilities or risk potentially losing players
Yeah.
to injury or on the recruiting trail.
Because your freaking thing will go down like B minus, whatever. Yeah.
The final place where you're going to spend your budget is around NIL for recruits, players already on your team, and in the transfer portal.
A lot more to
You'll
manage.
be able to use NIL to help bring in high school recruits, but not all recruits will require NIL. These are going to be dependent on your school's prestige, proximity to the recruit, and also the school grades. All of these will determine the desired NIL.
So it is interesting, if you're at a higher school, higher overall school, higher star school, the NIL for some of these is less. It costs less to get them.
Of the player at your
So Ball State,
dependent on your school's prestige.
this guy
proximity to
costs
the
way
recruit,
more
and also the
than
school
UCLA, which
grades.
makes sense, I guess. I guess that's how they're going to kind
All
of
of
give
these
that
will
up.
determine the desired NIL of the player at your school. Important. NIL is not an instant win mechanic on the recruiting trail. It's a scholarship bonus that can be increased or decreased depending on how you're trending with that
Scholarship
recruit.
bonus. Okay.
It's still important that you hit on your recruit's perfect pitch, visits, deal breakers, if you want to lock that player into a committed state. You can also adjust your offers as recruiting boards begin to take shape,
Okay.
but be careful. You may upset your recruit and cause them to flip on you. Even more important than ever, because we have a brand new recruiting mechanic in College Football 27. Verbal commits, big time. We're excited about this one. Verbal commits are going to add a risk-reward mechanic to recruiting.
We're back. Interesting. Verbal commits? That's weird. Okay, so they have a new recruiting system and verbal commits are a thing.
And also change how you allocate your NIL bonuses. Don't think that once you've got a verbal, you can reallocate NIL or stop recruiting, because that player could potentially decommit, flip on you, go somewhere else.
It's a big deal.
NIL also needs to be managed at the end of the season on your current roster.
Yeah, bro, that's so
Players'
tough.
NIL asks will fluctuate based on star ratings,
That's so
overall
tough.
performance, if they won awards. You need to ensure you're correctly budgeting for NIL roster fluctuations, and that can be the difference between retaining players in the offseason or potentially losing emerging stars based on their dynamic deal breakers.
Dude, that's really crazy.
Building your program and budgeting your dynasty points wisely all culminates in the new coaching carousel for College Football 27. We're very excited about this one.
Okay.
New this year, you're going to be able to express interest in schools even if they're not on the top candidates list. No more 6 schools only. You can throw your hat into the ring.
I like it.
But be careful. Expressing interest in too many schools is going to impact your coach stability grade if you stay at your current school. And as mentioned earlier, you now have the ability to make offers to coaches across the country at various different coach
This
levels.
is much better.
Not just a preset of interested coaches.
This is much better.
And dynasty points can be used to sweeten that pot and increase that interest, making up to 6 offers per coordinator, allowing you to lock in that program-changing hire.
That's really cool.
So we are excited and incredible.
It is cool how so this is one of my big problems with Dynasty was I was like, okay, I'm going to start at a small Texas school because I'm from Texas and I would love to make my way up to a, higher tier Texas school and then to LSU eventually because that's my favorite school, whatever. But it was it felt like it was so far out of my control to get to a certain school. Like, even if I took UTEP, like in college football 25 to the playoff, like every year, it was like Texas was never going to offer me, or A&M or Texas Tech or TCU. It was just like, it was never actually going to happen. And so being able to at least like apply for a job, I think is cool. It was like, hey, I've taken UTEP to, 6 straight national championships. Hire me, A&M. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a great feature, I think.
Actually, to see all of the battles that break out in online dynasties, who's going to be battling for those coordinators, and just super pumped about that. Much more to Dynasty. We've added wear and tear management. Super exciting here. We have added, based on community feedback, expanded league history. You can go back to the 1800s now.
Bro, league history. I was going to say that SEC logo looks freaking old as crap. Look at Nick
Take a look at league
Saban.
history. Expanded team historical stats.
Wow.
Coach mode is now in Dynasty mode.
That's
exciting.
cool.
User selectable crowd themes before you go into your Dynasty games. Very exciting. And Stadium Builder inside of Team Builder.
Dude, they did
And
so
one quick
good
note on
this
this
year.
as well, you will be able to edit your teams in Team Builder at the start of every single Dynasty year. So no more one and dones.
That's really cool, man.
Excited to give you this on the
Dynasty is one of those modes chasing that perfect recruiting class.
Okay,
And
so I think that's all that we need to watch in the video. I would like to see if we can go read up and see what they've kind of cooked up here for us. So we are MVP Plus members, features, gameplay. Here we go. Let's read the. Actually, probably do all this honestly. Look at this, bro. Gameplay deep dive. Short Arch gameplay. Coach DNA 2.0. Hot cold. Coach chat. Coach chat. What is that? If you've ever coached, you've probably done this before. If you watch College Football Insiders, you definitely see it. College players aren't professionals yet. These are student athletes dealing with pressure, momentum swings, road environments. One sec, I got to do it. I know it's probably bad for y'all too. Highs and lows. Sometimes the quarterback throws one bad interception and suddenly everything starts speeding up on him. Sometimes a freshman corner gets a touchdown and you can see his confidence disappear. We want to give you more agency and control in those moments instead of simply watching that play out. You can coach chat them. By pressing on the right D-pad, you can open the Dynamic Subs tab. During the game, you can use coach chat 3 times to settle a player down. That's incredible. Okay, back to the top. Built for game day, dynamic weather, abilities, growth versus dominance, play your way, coach mode. We'll look at that. Timing-based catching. I don't really care about that. Coach mode. This is a feature that should make our veteran simulation heads proud, and that's me. Coach mode is designed for players who want to experience the game from a different point of view, not as nothing on the field, but as the person managing the game from the sideline. When coach mode is enabled, post-snap gameplay is handled by the CPU, leaving you with the kind of control our real head coach has before the ball is snapped. That creates a completely different style of immersion. Coach mode includes a range of settings that let you shape how hands-on you want to be for the snap. Auto quarterback, auto snap, coach suggestions, pre-play cutoff, pre-play audio. One of the most interesting parts of the mode is the pre-play cutoff system, designed to reflect the real-world communication rules that govern coach-player heads communication. How it works. While communication is active, the interface remains open. At 15 seconds after the play call, the communication window closes. Once the cutoff hits, the pre-play menu closes as well. After that point, no further audibles or hot route adjustments can be made. That's so good. Coach quarterback stat. By holding R2 plus your icon, you can tell your quarterback who his primary read is. That's incredible, guys. That's actually incredible. Yes. You can now make percentage directly from the play call screen. That's awesome. I love that. You can literally make a substitution based on formation. Oh my goodness, dude. This game is actually going to be good. This jostle thing looked cool. Short yardage looked cool. Coach chat looks really cool. Weather's a big deal. Before it's raining the whole game, which this may seem like a small feature, but it's actually great because it's honestly just more annoying than anything big. Oh, it's a rain game, so it's just going to rain the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Versus now it's like, okay, maybe it's not going to rain the entire time, maybe, just sometimes. So those are a few of the things. And then I also want to highlight short yardage gameplay. I think this is also really, really cool because it does short yardage gameplay in pretty much every Madden EA football game for the past few years has just felt really fake. And not different than, 1st and 10 from the 20. And so you get weird animations. You either walk into the end zone untouched most times, or you're tackled for a big loss. And it's why? What's going on? So this makes it feel better. QB sneak meter, I also kind of like that. I just think that's kind of cool overall. So I like that. Let's take a look. Where did that? Oh, it's down here. Okay. So gameplay did that. Okay. Dynasty. Deep dive. Here we go. Dang. So they've had this vision for 3 years now. Or so they say. We wanted to go big, not by moving away from what we built, but by evolving it, which you did. Center of all of it, there are the same 3 core pillars: build your coach, build your program, build the world of college football, which is great. I agree with that. So this comes to the decisions you make: your coach, build your program, and then the world of college football. So this is part of the Dynasty home screen, and this looks super. The menus this year look super clean, not cluttered, minimal, aesthetic. And when you're in the menus a lot, you freaking need that, okay? 138 ways to build. Every decision, every hire, and every move you make helps define your journey to the top of the college football world. No programs are the same. You're right. Win now mode. Difference is real. This is big. Athletic retro expectations. So every single Ohio State, year after year, the program consistently field elite teams, won at a high level, competed for the Big Ten Championship, produced NFL talent, and remain in the national title conversation. But nearly every measurable standard, it was one of the most successful programs in the country. But there was one exception that continued to loom large, beating Michigan. Despite all of that, repeated losses in the rivalry created real pressure around the program, even in a season that ended with the national championship and a contract extension. It's crazy. So they're trying to create expectation. So here's Ohio State, and this is what the AD says you have to do: make the national championship in the next 7 seasons, beat Michigan by 3+ points, and be ranked in the top 5 at the end of the season. Now, if you do this stuff, that gets you more dynasty points that can then be spent on your team, which is great. And each school has a demeanor, which is also very realistic. So this just creates different pressure. So Ohio State is impatient. And so it's just passing goals increases your job security at a lower rate. Failing goals decreases your job security at a higher rate. So if you fail a goal, it's hey, bro, lock in here. Different programs, different priorities, which is good. Certain programs may value statistical identity. A school that wants to be known for a high-flying offense may expect you to hit a specific points per game benchmark. That's kind of crazy. Goals and evaluation. Those expectations manifest through 3 active goals that you are responsible for achieving. These goals can vary widely in structure and time frame. Most will be single season objectives that update each year. This is cool because it just gives you something to play for during the year. I feel like a lot of times in Dynasty mode, it's okay, the first year. So here's what I found with Dynasty mode. The first year of your first Dynasty in the new game is great. It's fun. You're playing with the team. It's exciting. But Any dynasty after that, the first year is so mid because all you want to do is actually get that recruiting and transfer class in and play with those guys. And so I think what this will do is it'll actually give you something to play for, because if you hit on these goals, then you get more dynasty points that off season or that next season to immediately improve your team. I think it says that here. Goals can span a variety of categories, including winning national and conference championships, beating rivals and achieving specific statistical benchmarks, signing certain types of recruits, controlling recruiting territory. Oh, dang. That's so deep, actually. Other goals are stretch objectives. A school trying to take the next step may want to push for a college football playoff appearance, but falling short may not crush your job security. Fair. Okay. These can also evolve. They're not static. As your program grows, the standard grows with it, which is cool. If you recruit well, upgrade the program, stack winning seasons, and start competing for conference titles, the expectations will rise. That's awesome. That evolution in Central Dynasty building a program is not just about reaching the top. It is about handling what comes after. As your school becomes stronger, your athletic director and fan base will expect more from you. Geez. And here's some pictures. Oh, this is like a timeline of like what's going on. So 2026, he went 9-4, 11-3. Okay, I love this. So beat Virginia, beat them by 7+ points. So after he went 11-3, it's when it kind of gets crazy. Win 75% of your conference games this season, be ranked in the top 15 at any point in this season, and beat them by 7+ points. 12-3. 3 points conference title, 14-2 with a school career win at 3% conference title again, 15-1 in CFP, conference title, average at least 30 points per game this season. Okay, so it does continue to grow, which is great, actually. Dynasty Blueprint with our guy, Lane Kiffin on the cover. Love it. This is one of, excuse me, their biggest improvements. So you can put different points in a different category. So I think staff is mainly just how much you're paying them, and then like what attributes you've put on your staff. You have to manage your facilities. You have to put points into recruiting. Wow, ow. And in managing NIL, which I'm glad they added all of this, because you have to be smart. Because if you don't put any money into your managing your roster NIL wise, then you won't be able to pay to retain players. But you have to balance it with recruiting plus transfer portal, which is kind of crazy. So the amount of points you have is driven by several key factors of your school identity, including conference prestige, brand exposure, stadium atmosphere, and program tradition. Grades. Schools with stronger brands, bigger stages and richer traditions, and more powerful conference standing will naturally have more resources available to them. That creates a clear separation between programs while still giving every school a path to grow over time. You can earn points through season payouts tied to major accomplishments and postseason appearances. Winning your conference, TFP, winning bowl games, and capturing a national championship can provide additional dynasty points representing the financial impact and program boost, which is great. Certain ADs, expectations can also carry dynasty point payouts, which is cool too. Dynasty points do not roll over year to year, making your annual budget a use it or lose it resource. Good to note there. Your budget refreshes during end of season recap, and that refreshed amount becomes the pool of dynasty points you have available for the next season. Any payouts from your AD expectations of major season accomplishments are added during that refresh. So growing your budget over time comes from improving the My School grades that drive your baseline resources and completing performance incentives. You can spend aggressively to solve immediate problems and push everything into a win now season, or you can make trade-offs with a given year so you're positioned to make a larger investment after a season when you hit multiple high-value goals. That's cool. This is not something that you manage once and forget about it. Different parts of your blueprint become available at different points in the season, in the calendar, okay? The preseason is where you set your foundation. This is when you hire and fire support staff. And once the season begins, that group is locked in for the year. You can also purchase equipment upgrades for your facilities. During the season, your blueprint shifts towards roster building. You can continue investing in equipment while using recruiting NIL to compete. Okay, so I freaking love how not everything is open at once, because that can be overwhelming for some people. But during the season, it's just recruiting NIL to be for high school prospects throughout the season, and then also equipment. Bowl season is all about the coaching carousel. This is when you're going to manage your offensive and defensive coordinators, whether you're replacing a departure or reshaping your staff for the future. Support staff changes are not able during this stage. Off season. The off season is where the next version of Blueprint takes place. Your budget refreshes during end of season recap, which is when performance bonuses from AD expectations and major season accomplishments are paid out. Major building upgrades are also become available for your facilities, and NIL becomes central to both transfer recruiting and roster retention. Okay, so what's nice is you'll get this off-season boost of money that can then help you pay and manage money to keep players and also get them in the portal, which is good. Coaching staff. No successful team is built by one person, as we know. Coaching staff is one of the three major areas where you can spend dynasty points. As a head coach, you're responsible for building out your staff, deciding how much to invest in the people around you, and determining where those resources can make the biggest impact. They matter, and they serve different purposes, and so support staff's new, actually. Oh, frick. Support staff represent unsung heroes of college football. These are the graduate assistants, recruiting staff, fundraising teams, trainers, analysts, and key personnel. Okay, wow. The number of support staff members you can have is tied to your team prestige. Love that. You can receive one support staff per prestige level. That's so freaking cool. Okay. They can do 5 things. Decrease the dynasty point cost of hiring other support staff, reduce NIL expectations from players, increase weekly recruiting hours, increase offseason player progression, increase dynasty point fundraising during your annual budget refresh. And this also comes in 4 tiers. Bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Higher to support staff costs more dynasty points, but their effects are stronger. This is so freaking cool, dude. Are you freaking serious right now? Acquisition team, recruiting coordinator. And all it does is it gives you these, bonuses in a creative way, which I love. Like, come on, dude. Coordinators retaining your staff. You can fire coordinators during championship. Your championship week, then hire replacements during bowl seasons throughout the coaching carousel. Your coordinators may also leave for opportunities, which makes retention an important part of your staff management. If you have a coordinator you want to keep, you can negotiate an extension during championship week. Okay, cool. Hiring coordinators uses dynasty points as well. An expected team prestige. And you can offer any coach, where you can adjust your dynasty point offering above a coach's exit value will increase their interest in your program, while offering below will lower it. Makes sense. Contract offer, resolving offers. You can make up to 6 offers per side of the ball at a time, meaning 6 coordinators and 6 defensive coordinators offers. When the week advances, those offers resolve in order based on the amount you offered the coach. Okay. Wow. Facilities as well. I don't think it's going to change. Yep. Tech did. That's crazy. Which this is nice because before facilities was out of your control. Whatever your facility grade was in Dynasty, that's what it stayed at. And so here at least you can change that, right? If you have a premier facility, your athletic facilities upgrade can sit anywhere between C- to C+, but it cannot reach the B range until you upgrade to an elite facility. Equipment can improve your grade with your current range, but only a facility upgrade moves you to the next band. Love it. Facility also determines how many equipment slots you have available. A basic facility gives you 1 equipment slot. Oh, okay. So you get these slots you can do. So this one is B+. They have this, which increases athletic facility grade. You also have to maintain it. And it comes with a higher annual cost, which makes sense. This is flexible, apparently. Okay. You get certain slots. Equipment can provide the following effects. Okay. So you can increase your grade. You can increase the duration of equipment effects. You can reduce wear and tear, reduce season health usage, and reduce practice injury chance. Love that. NIL. Here, dude, there's, I mean, they actually added stuff. Blueprint again, and NIL is one of the 3 major areas in this. Recruiting is about acquisition. It gives you another way to compete for high school prospects and transfers, especially when you are trying to close the gap against schools with stronger my school grades, better pipelines, or a clear recruiting advantage. So it's like if you really, really want a player, spend on them, you know. But you also have to retain your players, you know. For recruits, expected NIL is driven by factors like star rating, position, deal breaker, and your team prestige. 5-star prospects will generally expect more than 4-star, so on and so forth. Brand exposure is also a major factor. That makes it a long-term commitment. When you sign a prospect with what NIL attached their scholarship offer, you are establishing an expectation for that player moving forward, which is fair. Dang. Recruiting NIL is where these expectations first become actionable. It does not replace scouting, my school grades, or any of that stuff. Scouting before spending. This year, you can no longer offer scholarships during the preseason. The preseason is now focused entirely on scouting, giving you time to identify the players you want to fit your program. That's great. That change matters because scholarship offers now include NIL. Offering a prospect is no longer something you do casually, which is great. It's a bigger decision because it can immediately impact your budget and establish expectations that may follow that player into your program. Wow. Dang. So you offer a scholarship plus NIL. Yeah. So, like, if you scout a player and you really, really want him, bump that NIL up a little bit, I guess. And you can also adjust it after. That was in the video. You can adjust it after, which is good. Also applies to transfers. Of course it does. Top Manager offers. The recruiting board will show how much NIL you have offered each prospect. You can also view a full recruit NIL spreadsheet from the Dynasty Blueprint screen, showing each prospect on your board, their NIL, and your current offer. That's really cool. At the end of the cycle, the top classes screen will also show the total amount of NIL spent. And then once they're there, they have to actually, be paid on your roster too. You receive an action item to adjust NIL for your players, which is cool. So I guess it's like, okay, if they suck and they go down, maybe lower them. Obviously, if you're overpaying, underpaying, the risk of leaving is higher. Yes. So, and if you give them more money, it takes that risk away. At risk, you can quickly pay them up. Yep. Cool. So when you're tracking NIL, it's going to highlight players that are at risk of leaving. Another powerful way to build your roster, but it comes with real consequences. Every point spent on a recruit is a point you may not have for retention. That's the balance, bro. And every coach's blueprint strategy, including creating coaches and assistant coaches, really coaches, cool. You can also edit stuff, which is cool, like balance, auto settings too. That's cool. I like that. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, when picking a team, a new overview panel gives you a deeper look at each school. You can see high-level information like top players, rivalries, recruiting pipelines, key stats, history, dynasty points are going to be committed to facilities, coordinators, and roster NIL, which makes sense. You can go deeper, pull up additional tabs. Oh my gosh, we're still going, dude. Verbal commits. It's also in the video. They can verbal commit, but that means you can't stop recruiting them. You still have to pursue them, or else they'll flip to a different school, which is crazy. Generation has been updated to create more dynamic and exciting incoming classes. This year, we added new gameplay traits to the recruit generator and rebalance ratings, abilities. In general, recruits should feel more explosive. You will see more players with higher end speed, stronger ratings, and access to higher tier abilities, especially among the top prospects in the class. Five-star recruit should more consistently feel like the kind of player who can make an immediate impact, which is great. Love it. Dang. Wear and tear. You can also edit practice, full practice, limit practice, like each and every single week. If they don't practice, they don't get XP. I mean, maximum chair recovery, which this is great though, because like if your freaking star senior quarterback is freaking dead, give him the week off because then they can recover. They get no XP. Oh, that's cool. Unavailable. And they'll start cold. That's so intuitive. But yeah, so let's just say your freaking, senior D tackle is tore up. What's crazy is, what if your starting D tackle, coming off of your 8th game of the season is like just hurting, but you play a cupcake next week? Do you sit him and then he's recovered? And then coaching carousel, you can apply and express interest to a job, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, they reword coach prestige as well. If you're winning now, schools recognize that. On the flip side, if you're falling short of expectations, but you fit what they're looking for, which is good. You can, like I said, you can express interest. Schools interested in new shows, all openings are available now. The biggest change is that you are no longer concrete job offers waiting for you when you enter the carousel. Instead, you express interest in the jobs you want to pursue. You can expect interest in up to 6 jobs during the carousel. If a school has you high on its short list, expressing interest gives you a strong chance to land that job, but it's not a guarantee. Another coach interest. Expressing interest in it is also a real commitment. If you express interest in a job and that school chooses you during week advance, you will automatically get the job thing. There's no second decision at that point. There's a cost though. Each time you express interest, you will take a small hit to coach stability as rumors begin. Dang, and once again, then this impacts coach stability, which last year also felt kind of random and like it was up to your assistants, but it's like, that's so cool. Coach abilities, they still have it. Rainmaker, MVP Plus edition. Visionary, Pro Pipeline, President Makes Perfect, Hot Star, Rainmaker, NI Offers, Budget Booster, Stay Power. I mean, they're adding new things, ability cost, rebalance, the coach mode with the cutoff and the camera. Heisen moment during oh my gosh, walk onto the stage. That's freaking sick. Oh my gosh, dynamic weather. History, historical stats. Okay. 12-team format. Yeah, automatic qualifiers. Yeah, crowd theme selector, player composure, new player awards. We added more awards. First column freezing. Love that. Team builder, stadium builder, which is great. Crowd customization. Okay, create your what? What? What team? That's so sick. Post game speech. What? Oh, okay, yeah. That's just them saying, okay. Okay, so I mean, there's the freaking Dynasty look around. Let's get to Sights and Sounds real quick. I mean, we haven't even gotten to. Wait, okay, wait. PC deep dive. We need that. Closed beta deep dive. We need that. Sights and Sounds. Okay, so PC, gameplay and cutscene settings. That's great. VSync, ray trace lighting, sideline quality, crowd quality, blend. Okay, this is all cool. Great. Beta information. Okay, beta is Luminosco. That's great. Offline Dynasty progress. No capture zone. That's great. Steam, love that. Go to your game library. Select reading code. Provided code. I guess I should have gotten a code. I don't know. We'll see anyway. All right. Sights and Sounds, then we're done. Look at this, bro. Does not start at kickoff. You're right. The band, the walkout, the mascots. Okay. This year, pageantry, fandom, and traditions, storytelling, which is great. Crowd themes, cameras, and team builder major expansions. Look at Brian Denny. Okay. Make it feel bigger. Immersion. Better camera cut, smarter commentary, and that picks up the game. A sound that feels busy and energetic. All okay state. Yep, you're right. Okay, this year we spent pageantry with editions across several areas: new traditions, mascots, light shows, drone shows, chants, trophies, atmosphere moments that better represent the schools. Okay, in the sky, Drop Anchor Vanderbilt, Boise State Skulls, Vanderbilt's guitar solo, the belt, FIU 305, Eastern Michigan, the Baylor Line. It's in the game. 30 plus student section banners. Okay. 90 revamped chants. New mascots. 35 plus new mascots. Main menu. Oh my gosh. Headsets on coaches, new coach models, 50 schools that they run out pyros, run out band tunnels, run out props, animations, cheer style animations. That looks great. Coaches look great. Okay, praise God. Not every game should carry the same energy. Rivalry games should feel heavier the whole day, should carry a little more tension. That was the mindset behind rivalry game enhancements in College Football 27. Chippy. Love it. Oh, you can watch the game in RTG. That's cool. Team upgrades. Nice. Ryan Field is here. A new stadium in CFP 27. Heisman Trophy. This is a sick graphic. Or to Glory. New gear. Added lots of gear. New broadcast package. Okay. This is what I'm here for. The goal is simply not to refresh the look of the game. We wanted the presentation to do a better job carrying the energy feel. That's what I agree with. Keep it looking the same, but that's fine. New broadcast visuals, banners, and presentation elements, including new player action shots and coach information and play call panels. Improved story-driven overlays, including halftime around the country and third to fourth quarter transitions. New pacing and framing across the game broadcast. Better support for in-game context and narrative follow-up. More visual variety in how key moments are presented. I'll spend time proving how games build a sense of progression. A big early drive, a dynamic weather shift, a hot player, momentum swing, rivalry game that starts to tighten up in the second half. Those moments now have more support. Love that. They do tell a story. Drive stars to help us. Nice. Picture information panels, narrative callbacks later in the game, halftime around the country updates, fourth quarter presentation moments that bring the. Love that. Halftime show looks great. Holly Rowe is the silent reporter, which is cool. Injuries, stuff like that. Joel Klatt is color. More aware, I agree. Context for commentary, season performance awarenesses, refresh team banter storylines, follow up, stronger player and team storylines. That's great. Dynamic weather, already kind of looked at that a little bit, which is cool. Visual impact, which is great. It makes you lose control. Yep. That's so freaking cool. 19 new pop covers. Great. And the same ones are still in the freaking game. Crowd density, crowd presence, energy, how the game feels. This is interesting. I like that. You can change the freaking crowd pattern, which is great. Camera preset. Modular cameras. You can make your own gameplay camera package with over 16 options. I'm going to change your pre-play cameras, your drop back snap camera. That's really cool. Love it. Okay. Wow. We discussed a lot. This game is going to be absolutely insane, crazy. It's finally here, and we get to play it in like a month, which is wild. College Football 27. Expect Dynasty once again here on Coach Miller's channel. It is going to be a blast, and we'll see you when we get there with College Football 27.